What's up guys, Lou here, and welcome to my unusual style iPad 3 review. That's right, I'm still calling it the iPad 3 just like I did in my unboxing. If you haven't seen my unboxing video and you want to see this device up close and personal, I'll put a link to that video somewhere in the annotations as well as down in the description. So here you have it. This is the latest iPad, the third generation iPad, and it is very similar to the last generation iPad that I have right beside it in white. The new one I have is in black, but they're both 16 gigs. And from a layout perspective, they're basically identical. You've got your eyesight camera that's been improved, and now they're calling it an eyesight camera. Should perform similarly now to the iPhone 4. You got your power switch up top. You've got a microphone up top, headphone jack, 30-pin connector on the bottom, volume rocker, and hold switch. That's basically it for hardware, except for, in my opinion, the biggest improvement, which is the new screen. Well, most people are going to agree with me, the new screen. And as I mentioned in the unboxing video, it's basically impossible for me to show you on camera what this quality is like in person. Reason being that, well, first of all, this video, depending on how I upload it, but say, for example, even if it's in 1080p, the resolution on this screen surpasses 1080p. And then on top of that, it's all these pixels smashed into a 9.7-inch frame, meaning that the distance of space between each pixel is not very much. So the eye's ability to actually resolve this data on this tiny little screen is limited. But they're still calling it retina, and that's because of the distance that you're likely going to hold this iPad at. So anyways, I don't want to get too technical with this, because the reason I'm doing this kind of review right here is because of the number of questions I get that break down very simply, like, Lou, do I need to upgrade to the latest iPad? Is it worth the money? Which one should I get? I've already got the iPad 2. Should I get the iPad 3? And is the iPad 3 better than some random Android tablet? Those are the main questions. So I thought I'm going to put together a review in that style, because as you guys know, the standard sort of review process is to list the specs, to list the data. That stuff's available to anybody. You can look at a spec sheet anywhere on Apple's website, and you can look at 100 other reviews that are going to be done that way. And so I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to break it down for you guys in very simple terms. If I were you, if you were me, what the hell, how should it be done? And for those that follow the channel, you know I get to play with a lot of gadgets, so I have a little bit of experience, but I still like to consider myself a regular consumer at the end of the day, and I want to tell you whether or not you should be compelled to get the latest one. So my short answer, I don't know if it's a short answer. I don't know if I'm capable of a short answer, but if you own one of these, if you own the last generation iPad, then I say no. I say you're already okay, you're up to snuff, you've got most of what you need, and until you take a look at this one, you won't even know what the hell you're missing out on, which isn't very much. But then once you take a look at one of these, then you think, oh, I had to have that beautiful display, so on and so forth. That's a natural sort of human reaction. But in reality, right now, there isn't very much that can take advantage of this new pixel density, like I mentioned earlier. And so what that means is you're buying a gadget for today, you know, especially if you're the person that wants to buy the latest and greatest. You're not buying the gadget for a year from now when apps come out that properly distribute data around the screen so that you can finally take advantage of that added resolution. No, you're not buying your gadget for that. You're buying it right now. And in that event, you're probably better to save a few bucks. You're probably going to be able to get these iPad 2s used for a great price right now. And they're still a very good tablet, especially if they're your first tablet. It's a very cohesive experience. They're a lot of fun to use. They're really easy to pick up and get working with. You have a huge app catalog. Apple has really put together a great user experience, and part of it has to do with how ubiquitous the device is. The number of users that are out there, I mean, the apps get developed for it, so on and so forth. You know, it's a very healthy ecosystem. So the improved camera, well, who the hell cares? Because if you're walking around shooting photos like this, if you're walking around doing this, let me tell you something, you're an asshole. No, I'm just kidding. You're not an asshole, but I mean, you're going to intimidate people. This is not a very comfortable look. People see you walking around like that and pointing this thing in their direction. They haven't seen that before. They're not comfortable with it. And most people who are going to buy one of these already have a smartphone. Here's my Galaxy Nexus. Not the best camera on the market, but at least as good as the one on this latest iPad. And that's a lot more comfortable. People are used to it. Taking photographs is a social endeavor, and therefore people's comfort level matters. And so if you've got a smartphone, use that camera. We don't need a super high quality camera in this device. Now, one more thing. I know I've been blabbering on here, and as you guys can tell, I'm pumped up about this subject. You know, tablets have taken over the marketplace. They're a huge success, a huge hit, and a lot of people are loving them. But I do want to say a few words about Android. And that's why I've got my Galaxy Tab 10.1 out here. You know, I use all these devices. I really try and look at them from a regular user's perspective, to think about the user experience, etc. And to be honest with you, this device here actually got a lot of use from me for a while. But the trouble is that there is not a healthy ecosystem. I'm sure you all know that. Android and tablets, it's still a relatively new endeavor. And as a result, this turns in, at least for me, turns into sort of a glorified touch interface web browser. It's access to the web, access to a web browser, and that's fine. You know, access to my Gmail. That's fine because, I mean, that's a big percentage of how I use these other things too, obviously. But for the average user who picks up an Android tablet, I think at this point in time, you might be disappointed. You might be disappointed in the sense that there isn't that healthy, thriving ecosystem that you can sort of explore off the bat and see and sort of decide how you're going to use this new device in your life. So that's been a bit of a discussion on tablets. I don't know if you guys are going to love this video or hate this video. I hope you love this video. It's a little bit different, as I said before. It is not your average iPad 3 review. You know, like I said before, if you want to see beautiful visuals and whatnot, you can watch my unboxing video. But I wanted to give you guys my interpretation from a user's perspective. Do you need to run out and buy the iPad 3? My answer is simple for all of you: no. You don't need to do it. If you don't have a tablet already, look for an iPad 2. You can get a great value on one. You're going to get 9/10 of the performance and the experience that you'd get on this new iPad for a lot less money. You might be able to even source one out for half the price. One last thing before we go, this does have improved graphics performance. I know I didn't talk about it. I know I'm going to have people saying, you didn't talk about the improved performance. It does have improved graphics performance, but there isn't too much on the market right now that can take advantage of it. And that brings me back to my last point, which is, why would you spend your money, sit around and wait? I mean, unless you're rich or something, sit around and wait for something to take advantage of what you've got when you can get a great value on something like this one. And the last thing before I go, holy blabberfest, Apple products, iPads especially, and iPhones for that matter, retain their value really, really well. So if you buy one of these and you decide, hey, you know, I want to upgrade at a later date, I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of value left in the device. So that is definitely something to consider. You don't need to go all the way to the highest level. You can start off a little bit slower and you can still get most of your value back when you decide to upgrade. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like and favorite the video. Show me some love. It's a little bit different, as I said before, but I just wanted to communicate my feelings to you guys. I'm amped up. I'm motivated about these products. And leave a comment down below. Tell me how you use your tablet and how much you like it and which one you're using, etc. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so. And I will see you guys around the channel. Thanks for watching. You guys make this content possible. I'll see you in the next video. Later.